The novel's called My Name is Leon. It's about one summer in the life of a little boy who's 9. His name's Leon, and it's about him losing touch with his baby brother Jake, because they both go into the care system. Only Jake gets adopted, and this is a summer where Leon's coming to terms with the loss, and he's fair to say he's not going to take it lying down. I had some time. I adopted a little boy who wasn't very well, and so I had to stop work. And when I stopped work, I decided to write a novel, and I was absolutely rubbish. So I carried on writing for about 10 years, and I wrote My Name is Leon when I was about 55. I wrote it because it's a world that I know very well. I've worked in the care system. I worked with social workers and foster carers. The book is set in 1981. I was 21 in 1981, so I know 1981 really well. It's set a part of it on an allotment. I had an allotment. And they always say, write what you know. So I very much wrote what I knew. And I also wanted, for a change, a child that had been in the care system to be the hero of the story, not the also-ran, which often happens. I couldn't believe it when my book was chosen for the curriculum. It's such an honour that children all over the country will be reading about Leon. It's really important to me that children be reading about Leon because he's not the sort of child that normally features in books. He's a mixed-race child. He's a black boy. He's a boy that's on the fringes of things. He's a working-class boy, if not sub-working-class boy. He's a bit lost. He's quite naughty. And those are the children that don't normally become the heroes of anything. So it was massive for me. It's massive for Leon, who I still think of as a child. And it's a big deal for children in the care system themselves and for lots of other children to read about these children as real people, not as something you read about in the press, always doing bad things. And for me personally, God, what a privilege. It's what every author dreams of. I hated reading. I didn't read if I could get out of it. Obviously, I had to read the Bible because my mother was a Jehovah's Witness, so I read the Bible maybe 10 times. And I had to read at school, so I read Merchant of Venice and Great Expectations, which were good, very good, and The Mill on the Floss, which was less good and I didn't enjoy. But I would say to children that perhaps feel like me, they don't like reading, it's not scary. You can discover different worlds and different people. And the choice of reading material now is so fantastic. You can read about other worlds, other lives, other times, vampires, any sort of adventure, historical novels, if that's what you're into. Don't think there's many children actually into historical novels, but if there are, the choice is fantastic now. So get stuck into a book. And if you don't like reading in the traditional way, and my son absolutely hates reading, he hasn't read any of my books, absolutely fine, because he's listened to them on audiobook. And if you struggle with reading and you just find it too slow and too boring, you can lie in a dark room and read a book through audiobooks now. I would have absolutely loved audiobooks. There's some great narrators, by the way, really exciting narrators that can bring the book to life. So if you don't like reading page by page by page, audiobooks, plug in your headphones and zone out to whatever anyone else is doing. What I hope young people will get from reading my novel would be a sense of what it's like to live in a non-traditional family structure. Lots of children don't have, 2 parents, dog, Volvo, very, very structured homes. I hope those children that do have super structured homes will learn what it is to not have that. And for any child that has an unusual or just not traditional family setup, they'll get to see themselves represented on the page. I'd also like them to laugh. It's a funny story. It's got some serious themes, but it's also got some really simple adventure themes to it. Leon gets to meet different people that he thinks are scary that turn out not to be scary. Some people that he thinks he can trust that he realises he can't trust. So I'd like children to just be immersed in the story. Don't worry about the big themes and what it means. Just enjoy the ride. It's a good story, and it's funny. It's got some good jokes in it. It's got very few swear words. I think for teachers, bear in mind that for some children, this might be raw. So there might be children in the class who also have lost a sibling through adoption or fostering or any other reason. There might be some children who have parents at home that have drug addiction or mental health problems, as Leon's mother does. And so for some children, this might not be entertainment. This might be just a little bit close to the bone, and to be aware of that, and not to be asking those children particularly what they feel about it, because that's private information and the child might not be willing or ready to talk about it in the setting. So don't single them out if you're doing the book, just let the book do the work. So just being aware that for some children this might bring up things that are uncomfortable, that might be unexpected. As for the teachers' lived experience, I've got every faith that teachers can make that jump, that teachers can say, okay, it's not my lived experience, but I can teach it. Of Mice and Men, taught by many, many, many teachers for got to be 40 years, is very few teachers' lived experience in this country, and they still manage to do a good job with that.